Hi and welcome to episode 2 of Gaming with Hayden. Today I will be reviewing the 2013 game, Tomb Raider. And if you don't really know what this is about, or if you haven't played the original games, then I'll just give you a quick summary. In this reboot game of the original Tomb Raider series, Lara Croft finds herself shipwrecked on an island with only her survival instincts. I have played every single Tomb Raider game I think there is, except for like the PS2, I think it's called Heart of Darkness, and there was this other one I didn't play, but I've played Tomb Raider Legend, Tomb Raider Anniversary, Tomb Raider Underworld, and I've played the new Tomb Raider, and like I said, this is a reboot of the original series. I read an article that said they're gonna redo the whole gaming series. I mean, everything, they're just gonna redo it all. This is actually the first M-rated Tomb Raider game in the US. That's what I read also. But there is a really good reason that this game is M. And let me just say, it's so much better M-rated the games are. First off, you're stranded on an island. Your ship gets wrecked on the island, and there are cannibals on the island. So that's kind of something you have to deal with. There is tons of blood in this game. I mean, on one part, like, you can just beat the bad guys up, the little henchmen up with like this rock climbing tool, and you just go up and you just whack them in the face, and just blood just covers doesn't cover the screen. It's like little dots of blood that go on the screen, and it's just way bloodier. One particular part, you are sneaking up into a dungeon, I guess you could call it, and the guards throw this guy in, and like they release all the cannibals, and all the cannibals just run up and they start just eating the guy, and it's pretty gruesome. Tons of violence, tons of violence, but that's okay. It's M. That's the way it's supposed to be if it's M. But that's why it deserves its rating. It's dark and disturbing. The history of the island is disturbing. The cannibals are disturbing. The Laura, her stuff she has to deal with on the island is just disturbing. It's dark. It's a darker version of Tomb Raider, and that's why it's M, but it's a lot better M. The storyline's really good. I mean, it just flows well. I feel like they kind of dragged out the ending. I mean, on certain parts I was like, oh, the game's over. I mean, not like the game's over, but oh, the boss battle, because there's always a boss battle in these games. The big boss battle's gonna come up pretty soon, and it didn't. So I kind of felt like they dragged the ending out. It kind of had some parts with Temple of Doom, the Indiana Jones movie, the Temple of Doom. They had this like kind of religious cult leader guy that was under control of the cannibals and all the henchmen and stuff. And there were sacrifices and stuff to the cannibals, and they thought the one girl that was part of my expedition team, she had the blood of the goddess in her, so they like tried to sacrifice her. So I mean, it kind of had some parts of Temple of Doom, but I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I liked that they threw that in there. And let's move on to the graphics. Yes, the graphics. Lara Croft, she's got a new look. Took out Angelina Jolie's, they put in a new lady who is just as hot and maybe even hotter than Angelina Jolie. I mean, you couldn't have Angelina Jolie be in every game. I mean, it was time. It was time for a remake of the face and everything, and the voice. They got a new lady to do the voice, and she's not really British, so but that's okay. The art, like for the game, like the art in the background and stuff and all that is really good. It's like you go to like, it's just pretty. Exotic locations, like you go, I don't even know, oh, it's in China, the Dragon Triangle, I think it is. You're somewhere out in China. The scenery is pretty. It's an exotic location. The art they did and the graphics are just amazing. That's the only way I can really put it. They're really good and I really think Xbox 360 games have stepped up with their graphics ever since I've owned it for about 2-3 years now. The games have just gotten better in the graphics. Like I said, it's a reboot. It starts out where Lara is just weak and all by herself and just kind of defeated, and then as you progress throughout the game, it shows how she gets tough and she's a survivor and she can just do anything. I mean, she goes through some pretty crazy stuff in this game. There's no team members like in the movies and the games. There was Alistair, the computer guy, and all them. There's nobody. I mean, you're just an explorer that likes to go to different places and stuff, and there's a couple people on the ship that like were with you, but they're not. I wouldn't really call them team members. And so, yeah, there's no team members, but that's okay because Alistair kind of annoyed me sometimes on the games. There's going to be more games with the way they ended it. There's definitely going to be more games in the series. It's kind of like they're reincorporating it. They're starting all over. They just wiped their slate clean and they're starting a whole new series of this new lore and all the adventures and stuff she has to put up with. And I can guarantee you the rest of the games will be if they make any more like this. There's no puzzles. Like in the original Tomb Raider games, you had to solve all these puzzles and stuff. There's absolutely not really any puzzles in this game, which I was kind of sad about. Just kidding, I wasn't those puzzles. They gave me ulcers from trying to figure it out. Some of the puzzles in some of the older games just made me angry with trying to figure them out. So there were no puzzles. Cursing, there's a few F words here and there, which actually surprised me. They're like, if you pay close enough attention, you're gonna hear some F words if you have subtitles. But I only heard like one or two. I didn't really hear that many F words, but there are definitely F words in this. They say the D word and all the other words, but it's not that bad for an M-rated game on cussing. There are some jumpy parts. At the beginning, after you're shipwrecked, it's like night, and it's kind of like the opening like title sequence, and you're on the beach, and all of a sudden you're just standing there, and some guy just jumps out of nowhere and like hits you in the neck, and you pass out, and that scared me. I have to be honest, I jumped. The cannibal chasing you at the beginning, so he like takes you to this cave, and you're like, there's like this little crack in the wall, and you climb through it, and there's like water and stuff, and you're like, oh, is he gonna jump out of the water? And then one part you like blew up this like barge that was in there to keep the water flow out, and the place is just falling apart. Rocks are falling everywhere. You gotta run and jump and stuff, and you're running and you're like, oh great, I'm gonna make it. And then the cannibal freaking like jumps out. I'm not even kidding. Jumps out and grabs your leg, and like it's pretty sketchy. Like it freaked me out. The wolves. Oh boy, don't even get me started with the wolves. There's wolves. They just jump out of nowhere. On the first part, you're exploring you're trying to open this door. And like the music gets really creepy. That's another thing. The music is really good in this. Like, I mean, plays with the parts, and like if she's sad, it plays sad music. If she's scared or something scary is about to happen, that's good. But anyway, so like you hear creepy music and you're like, oh great, what's gonna happen? And then like these wolves that look like real wolves, they have the black fur pelt and the yellow eyes and the teeth and the snarling. Anyway, they just jump out, and like I skipped a cutscene because I didn't really want to watch that. But yeah, you're like got like injured, and you're like laying there with like just no, it's a bow and arrow. You don't get your pistol yet. You got your bow and arrow. You start out with a bow and arrow that you take from a guy, and like it plays creepy music, and there's like bushes all around you, and you have to like find out where the wolf's gonna come through, and you have to like shoot it with the crossbow, not the crossbow, the bow, and it's pretty sketchy because they just jump out and it's like rawr, scary. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, it's just a good game in general. For my conclusion, this is my conclusion to kind of end this. This is my overall review of the game. It's amazing. It was a well thought out game. I'm definitely hoping for more games in this series. I'm hoping that they're M, because I hate to say it, but M-rated Tomb Raider games can get away with a lot more stuff, and they're a lot better than the T-rated ones, and the graphics are way better. The reboot, I have been a fan. I watched the movies when they first came out when I was like 4 or 5, whatever. I've watched all the movies. I like them. I like the games. I've played most of the games. The reboot, personally, is just as good as the old ones. It's just better, and it may even be better. Rent this game. Rent this game. If you have tons of free time on your hands, rent the game, because I conquered this in a day and a half. If you want to get more technical, I did all the little math. Even though it was a weekend, I still did math. It took me 7.5 hours to complete this game. I rented it from Redbox. I conquered it in a day and a half, and I liked it a lot. So if you're like, if you've played it before, then you're going to know where certain parts are, and you're going to conquer it quick. Or if you're just a gamer in general, then you're going to get through this game if you rent it. And it is $60 since it just came out. So I played and conquered a $60 video game for $4. That was really cool to me because I saved money. I enjoyed playing the game. The game was good. I may buy it. I don't know. There's multiplayer on there. I would review multiplayer if I played it, but I didn't. So overall, this game is awesome. Go out and buy it if you like the Tomb Raider games. Go out and rent it. I don't care. Just play it because it's an amazing game. Thanks for watching. Like and comment on this video. Make sure to tell your friends. I have a Twitter. I will put a link on here. I also have a Facebook. I will figure out how to put the link for both of those on here. And I've already posted my email. So if you ever want to contact me or talk to me on my email, I have a YouTube email, and I have a Frontier email. So anyway, thanks for watching, and make sure to play Tomb Raider because it's an amazing game. Thanks.